the September 17th, 2018 Salina City Board of Education meeting to order. You'll join me in standing for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Summer, call the roll, please.
Mr. Gilmore?
Here.
Mr. Zell?
Here.
Mrs. Gingrich?
Here.
Mrs. Voorhees?
Here.
Mr. Huber?
Here. I'll entertain a motion to set the agenda.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Voorhees, seconded by Mr. Sell. Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mr. Zell?
Yes.
Mrs. Gingrich?
Yes.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mr. Gilmore?
Aye. Okay, reception of the public. Mr. Busher. TriStar. I don't know, that writing looked pretty small.
It was. I can't read it either. We appreciate that. Very appreciate the opportunity to update you. I think most of you were actually there about 2 weeks ago, so not much to add, but one of the things, we're right where we want to be. I think that's our standard answer. I know Brad from Training Howie, that's kind of what the construction will tell us. But no, things are going well. Starting tomorrow, the color of the, I guess I won't say it's Buckeye color, but the reddish color will go up, the steel. Brick is about done, outside brick we saw from last week. There we had tours last week. We had several people go through. Continue to look at our website because we have more through November and December, some more. We try to do it every month, have a day that we can go for tours. So we want the public to know what's going on in there. And it's kind of a neat process. You guys and ladies were in there. It's kind of how it's all there. Marcy was there, didn't get hurt or anything, so we got through, her husband got you through there. So we're thrilled at this point where we're at. I know last about 3 weeks, we've got 2 more donations. We're a little over $1 million now for enhancements. We did get approval for our traffic light out there. I know that's one thing that we've been working on, and I know I've been at several ones. Tom probably could do this speech. He's been about 3 of these now, different boards and board meetings, but that's one thing we're really excited about. Now, the negative is we got to find the money for it. The state gave us about $280,000, and it's estimated about $650,000 to put a stoplight in. But that includes turn lanes and stuff, so it's just not the stoplight itself, but hopefully, that's a high priority for us to make sure because, Wright State Lake would love to have that out there, so we're going to do whatever we can, and I'll meet with Dr. J later this week. We're going to start looking at some of the other things we can tag team with them on different issues. So I know they grew another 7% this year or 6% I saw. So we're going to do some things with them. And now we're just thrilled. I know we've had a couple minor issues. And when I say minor, Fane Howie, we had some concerns one day. There was 3 emails sent back and forth to the companies before I got back from the site. And we got them solved today. We had a welding issue. And our teacher wanted something different. And we thought we missed it. And that was Friday afternoon about 2:30, and we met someone at 8 o'clock, and ended up, we thought it was going to be a big change order, and it's going to cost us nothing. So it's been really neat, and I know a lot of people are going out there. The visit, I know people at night and weekends are buzzing in because we can tell. It is open, so we'll tell people there'll be some things, there'll be little alarms put out there in the next couple weeks, but people can kind of stop out there and actually, the side of the road, people just stop to look at it. I know my wife the other week was coming from St. Mary's, and she wanted to slow down. When she did, there was a car behind her. Well, that car slowed down. So it's just kind of just watching. So I guess the neat part is that those people are excited. They've never had a project where so many people are interested in this. So I think we might went to that last week, so I'll entertain any questions. I think it was about 4 minutes. I was told under 5. Dr. Hannon.
How many, on average, are you getting going through the tours?
We're probably about a half dozen to a dozen. I think the other night we had a dozen. Now Frank Snyder came out and his son. The other Saturday, we did rain out. I did go out there. No one showed up. But New York Tour, I think we had about a dozen people, I think, that night. So do a lot in between during the days. I know this week our construction class is going out, our vet tech. I know some other schools are coming out with some of their construction classes. We invited them to come out because Peterson loves that. They love, that's part of when they present it to us. They want kids to see it because it's kind of like a TriStar house. Kids don't understand between the walls there's wood and insulation. You never get to see that. And this is block and brick stuff. So we're giving a lot of tours. I know, we talked to Peterson, they said they've never had this many people get tours. So we're kind of open with it. And we had some business people, we want to show them and, asking donations. Now it's a little easier when there's a building. Before that, they kind of trusted us. Now they can actually see we're following through with what we want to do.
Are you going to open as scheduled?
We are right where we want to be, Mr. Sell. But no, they're happy. We lost, I think, 8.5 days to weather so far. By the end of this month, the roof will be on and sealed so they can work on the inside. So actually, it's amazing the inside how much they have done. So yeah, we're pretty happy where we're at.
I've just got to say, having been out there, it is impressive. If you haven't been out there, it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well done.
In all due respect to the standard, in the last 2 weeks we've had the Cleveland Plain Dealers come out. And I was out there one day and Jared Edmonds was out there. Jared could go there anytime. He has no problem, but I said, what you doing here? Call you in 5 minutes. Well, that was a reporter from the Cleveland Plain Dealer. And this is interesting is that 75% of Ohio has not recovered from the recession yet. 25% has. And they know Columbus area, Cleveland, but they said there's 2 little counties in west central Ohio that are above and beyond. They want to know what's going on. So they called Jared. Jared showed them around the area. And his last stop was TriStar. Well, last week, they called up, they brought a photographer out for 2 days, stayed overnight. She took pictures of the lake, their companies in Coldwater, St. Henry, around St. Mary's, and they come out to our place. And they're actually doing, it's like it's not just a story, it's like an insert expose. So they took all these pictures, and she said, oh, I won't be in there. Actually, they're doing a comparison of 2 other communities in Ohio, and Mercer and Auglaize, and she said, they were just both impressed with this area. And what Jared's kind of said is, we've got a lot of economic development going on, but this is our biggest project ever, that this is going to be an important part. And they're just so overwhelmed with it. They can't believe that a community would pass it that way. And so it's kind of neat, and that the Cleveland Plain Dealer up 3.5, 4 hours away has heard about this. But I talked to my friends up there, and they said they've been doing a lot with career tech and the jobs, and they are really doing positive things. So it's kind of exciting that we're this far away. We thought we knew we were doing something unique. I guess it kind of proves that maybe we are. So yeah, now's the point. Mr. Selly said it's going to be done. I wish it was done already. So now the excitement's like, hurry up and get there. Let's get this done. But we'll be fine. We'll get there.
Right where you want to be.
Right where you want to be.
Good work, by the way.
You like that word?
Well, no, I said good work.
Well, that's a lot of people. This is hundreds of people on this one.
Absolutely.
And I know Tom.
You did a very nice job on the tours.
Well, that was fun. That's fun. If you can't get excited about that, I don't have a heartbeat. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. Anyone here for CEA? See our presidents. Mrs. Henderson, anything on behalf of OPSI? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consensus agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Huber, seconded by Mrs. Voorhees. Mr. Summer, if you please.
Okay, first item is to approve the minutes of the August 15th, 2018 regular meeting. Item number 2 is approve the financial report for the month of August, showing revenues of $2.64 million and expenditures of $4.79 million. Approve the investment control report for August 31st with a balance of $31.97 million. Approve the August 2018 SM2 reports. approve the checks written in August of 2018 of $4.37 million. Recommend the approval of the 2018-19 tuition rate of $6,050.70, and that is set by the Ohio Department of Education. Item 7, accept a donation of $500 from the Salina Women of the Moose, and those funds are to be used to pay off student lunch debt and to help with those students in need. And the final item I have is consider approving the purchase of a 77-passenger school bus from Rush Bus Centers at the Southwestern Ohio EPC price of just over $80,000. And this is to replace the bus that was damaged in the accident a couple weeks ago. The insurance company did toll out that bus, so we were down a bus. This bus is in stock, so it won't take long to get it.
What do we do in the meantime?
We still have some spares, but the spares have a lot of miles on them, so. Unfortunately, you know, the bus that was wrecked was one of the older buses, and it had a lot of miles on it, so. But to fix it was, what, in the $15,000 range or something like that. Insurance company said it was only worth $4,700, so,
Jeez.
yeah.
Any other questions for Mr. Summer? If not, moving on to Dr. Schmeezy.
We have a list of 5 people to approve as substitutes in our classified areas. The next 3 items are resignations. Heather Kuhn as the athletic worker at the elementary, Bruce Schmidt, custodian at the primary, and Diana Hausfeld, cafeteria worker at the elementary. From items 5 through 11, those 7 are approvals of 60-day probationary contracts. Nancy Menchover, Braylon Bader, Tom Mullenkamp, Rebecca Blanchard, Melissa Steinbrunner, Mindy Reif, Kelly Romer. Items 12, 13, and 14 are change of contracts. Mona Sams, reducing her by 9 days. Carol Anderson is changing from Head Start bus aide to preschool bus aide. Mary Braun going from bus driver to preschool bus driver. Number 15, approving Paul Combs to be a preschool bus driver.
Any questions? Okay.
For our certified folks, here's the first list we have from the ESC for approving our certified substitutes. There's 86 of them on that list. Items 2 through 7 are change of contract deduct days for Laura Simons, Steve Stewart, Andy Mikesell, Dawn Adams, Carol Bader, Michelle Miller. Following that, we are asking you to approve the following supplemental contracts. Jen Smith, JV Girls Softball, Missy Dugan-Biller, Assistant Swim, Andy Weish, Assistant Varsity Baseball. Pupil activity contracts are Allison Braun, JV Girls Softball, Allie Darris, Assistant Swim, Gabe Archer, JV Baseball, Jim Kimmel, 8th grade baseball, Bryce Monon, 7th grade baseball. Item 10, approve the following volunteers: Katie Kuhn and Scott Miller for softball, Carrie Wally, Brandon Rushton for girls basketball, Tracy Klingshirn for middle school girls basketball. James Miracle for middle school football. And we have the following 4 resolutions: to approve an overnight trip of Salina varsity boys basketball for a scrimmage of Mansfield Madison, November 16 and 17. An overnight trip for varsity baseball, March 29 and 30, to Ryle High School and Simon Kenton High School in Kentucky. Number 3, the district's cell phone purchase request from Derek Wenning. Number 4, the following possible overnight trips for TriStar Club competitions: State BPA in Columbus, National BPA in Anaheim, State FCCLA Columbus, Nationals FCCLA Anaheim, State Skills USA in Columbus, National Skills USA is in Louisville, Kentucky this year. Attachment 10 has a Head Start report, and along with that, from Head Start, approval of the 2.6 heads of living increase effective December 1st, 2017. Items from TriStar, acknowledge the Western Ohio Educational Foundation, the Wolf Board, for the following. They gave us the easement of right-of-way for sewer and water lines, and also donated .799 acres for the right-of-way to install turn lanes or a traffic light for student safety at the TriStar site. You probably did notice that the electric poles have been backed up or further away from the road. Item number 2, approve the trade lot 13s and 14s for lot 10 and 11 from Ralph Schmidt. These will be the future lots for TriStar Homes. Any cost associated with that transfer will be paid by Mr. Schmidt. The size of the lots are exactly the same. The TriStar Advisory Board has approved this transfer. Number 3, approve to accept the donation from Honda of America of a 2013 Honda Accord for education purposes to the TriStar Career Compact Automotive class. Value of that donation is $13,000.
Question. Dr. Ken, I have a question regarding attachment 6. This is the one from the state of Ohio. All this a budget saying that the formula for our tuition rate is going to be calculated to be $6,050 for school year 2018-2019. But then it goes on to say that the per pupil state education to your district is $4,400. The per pupil state education aid together with your tuition rate constitutes the amount per pupil per school year to be charged to a home as defined in the Ohio Revised Code for a non-handicapped child. Just to make sure that I'm doing this right, that comes to about $10,500 per year as calculated by the state.
That sounds correct. I know, Tom, that was under your section. Yeah, the $6,050. If you would look at students who open enroll out of the district, that's the amount of money that travels with them. Also, students that open enroll into Salina, that's the amount of money that comes from each of those districts.
And so then what's the extra $4,000 that they add on to that to determine how much we are going to charge per student per home for a non-handicapped child? Could you explain that part?
Yeah, let's say that there is a student that missed the open enrollment deadline of August 1st, and they still want their child to come and attend Salina School. They could pay that tuition amount and have their child attend Salina School.
So what's the extra $4,000 for? I mean, I would have thought that it would have stayed the same as that $6,050 at the top, but it's not.
No, that tuition amount is always a higher amount.
Okay. And do we have any
Tom,
of
are
those
you
schools?
aware of where that formula comes from for that amount of
Like
money?
I said, this is just something that the State Department of Education sends us and asks us to approve each year.
Has that changed significantly from last year, either one of those numbers?
Last year, the rate was 59.23.57.
And how about that tuition at the bottom for being $4,400? Do you know, has that changed any?
That I do not know.
Thank you.
I can check on that much now.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, do we have any items to remove from the consensus agenda? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Huber?
Yes.
Mrs. Voorhees?
Yes.
Mrs. Gingrich?
Aye.
Mr. Sell?
Yes.
Mr. Gilmore?
Aye. Okay, do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
by Mr. Sell, seconded by Mr. Huber. We plan to hold a brief executive session under G3 as it's marked on your agendas there, to potentially meet with our attorney and discuss a possible legal action. So I don't anticipate any action whatsoever coming out of that. So, anyone have anything further?
As a point of information, I just wanted to share at this time, we have received over 1,200 surveys. People still have until Friday, the 21st, to submit any surveys, so we definitely feel very good about that number of responses, and hopefully we get a few more yet this week.
Okay, Mr. Summer, call the roll, please.
Mr. Sell.
What is this for?
Executive session.
Executive.
Already, okay. Yes,
We moved it and then.
okay. I was gonna say, I think I already did that.
Mr. Huber.
Yes.